The Ashtavakra Gita is given out by sage Ashtavakra. So a brief life sketch of this Rishi. His life sketch comes, very briefly though, it comes in the Mahabharata, in the Vanaparva. 3 chapters, 132, 133 and 134 chapters. In Vanaparva of Mahabharata, a brief life history comes of sage Ashtavakra. We all know of Rishi Uddalaka. Both in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and in the Chandogya Upanishad, we see Rishi Uddalaka over there teaching his students the Advaita philosophy. So Rishi Uddalaka had a very good disciple. His name is 𝐜𝐭, K-A-H-O-D-A. So he had Uddalaka had a disciple, 𝐜𝐭, we can say. He was extremely good, talented, intelligent, full of wisdom, self-control was there. He learnt quickly all that the teacher taught him. He was very devoted to the teacher, to his teacher Uddalaka, and also he served him when he stayed with this teacher. So the teacher over here was extremely happy with this disciple, 𝐜𝐭, and gave to him or imparted to him or initiated to him all the knowledge that he had. And not only he gave to him the knowledge, he also in turn gave to him in marriage his own daughter named Sujata. So Uddalaka's daughter is Sujata. She was given in marriage to his disciple 𝐜𝐭. So the husband and wife, they were staying by themselves, and Sujata became pregnant. We are told the aura and the glow on her face was extremely brilliant and was extremely obvious. So we know what sort of a child she will deliver later on. So 𝐜𝐭 on the other hand, every day, day and night, he would chant or he would recite all the mantras of all the texts that he has learned, the Vedic texts that he has learned. This is called prenatal education. It was there long ago. So the child is in the mother's womb, and he would sit over there, and we are told he would go late into the night, keep on reciting and chanting the various mantras that are there in our texts, in the scriptures. So the child in the womb learnt all of them. So this was going on. As this was going on, one day he heard the child speaking from the mother's womb, and it said, "Oh Father, I am extremely happy. I have learnt all that you have been imparting to me, the knowledge. You have already initiated everything to me when I am in the mother's womb itself. And by your grace, I have learnt all the Shastras." However, the child said, now and then, you have been making mistakes while reciting or while chanting. You have been committing mistakes, is what the child said from the mother's womb. The father was taken aback. 𝐜𝐭 was taken aback because he thought he was perfect. And every day he has been doing this recitation, this chanting. How could he go wrong? So he got very angry. 𝐜𝐭 got very angry and he said, you still haven't yet even come out of your mother's womb, and you are pointing out to me my mistakes? And in his anger, he didn't even know what he was doing. He cursed the child and he said, you will be born crooked in 8 parts of your body. So with deformity you will be born. This is what he cursed the child when it was still in the mother's womb. So when Sujata delivered the child was a son, male child. The child had physical deformities. It was crooked in 8 different parts of the body. We won't go through all the details. So crooked means vakra. 8 means ashta. Therefore the child was named Ashtavakra. So this is 𝐜𝐭 and Sujata's son. At the same time, Uddalaka also got a child. His name is 𝐜𝐭𝐡. So uncle and nephew were almost of the same age. Now the child was born, it was named Ashtavakra. Now even before it was born, they were in sheer poverty, this Rishi couple. So somehow they managed themselves, the two of them. But now a child was coming into the world. She will have to look after the child. So they need a little wealth. So Sujata one day told her husband, 𝐜𝐭, why don't you go and get some wealth, some money, so that we will be a little more comfortable and we can look after our child well. So where to go? She is the one who actually pointed out to him and said, why don't you go to Janaka's court? There a lot of scholars come, well learned Pandits come, Rishis come, sages come, and then they over there they discuss philosophy, they debate over there. And King Janaka Maharaja is very, very generous and charitable. He gives away so much of riches. He, as a charity, as dana, he gives lot of wealth to all of them. So why don't you go over there and then get some wealth, a little bit of wealth for ourselves. So 𝐜𝐭 decided to go. So slowly he went to King Janaka's court. And over there in King Janaka's court, there was a scholar named Bandi. In some versions it is Vandi also. Sometimes where B is there, we can replace it by Va also. So Bandi was a great scholar. Who was he? He was the son of Varuna Bhagavan. Who is Varuna Bhagavan? He is the deity of the waters. Krishna says in the 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, amongst the water deities, I am Varuna himself, he said. So Bandi was the son of Varuna Bhagavan. He was also extremely thorough he was very well read, and whoever came to Janaka's court, he would pick up a challenge, he would challenge them, throw a challenge to them, and then in the debate he would win and the other person would lose. And the condition was, whoever lost in that debate, they would be sent to Varuna Loka. Varuna Loka means the water realm. So it's as good as they getting drowned over there. So this was what was happening. Many scholars came, Pandits came, and all of them suffered defeat from Bandi, at the hands of Bandi. And all of them he sent to Varuna Loka. So for the other people over here, it was like they were as good as dead. Same thing happened with 𝐜𝐭 also. So he went, and in the debate with Bandi, he lost. And when he lost, the condition was that he will be sent to Varuna Loka. So he also was sent to Varuna Loka. So the news that came back to Uddalaka and to Sujata was that he has got drowned in the ocean or in the sea. Why? Because he faced defeat. So Uddalaka told Sujata. So Sujata came back to her father's place. Nobody to take care of her, nobody to take care of Ashtavakra, the little child. She came back to her father's place and stayed with him. Uddalaka told Sujata, don't tell this to anybody, especially your son. So she did not tell what happened to her husband, what happened to 𝐜𝐭. The little child, Ashtavakra, therefore, considered Uddalaka himself as his father. And therefore, Uddalaka's son, 𝐜𝐭𝐡, he considered him as his own brother. Though he was uncle, mother's brother he is. Both of them grew up in the same ashram. And both of them were taught by Uddalaka himself. Slowly, the children grew up. When he was around 10, 11, 12, around 12, one day, Ashtavakra, so he is already well read. Even in the mother's womb, he was well read. So much well read that he could even point out to his own father the mistakes, even before being born. So therefore, and afterwards also Uddalaka tutored him. So he is very well versed in all branches of knowledge. So one day he was sitting on the lap of his grandfather, Uddalaka. At that point of time, 𝐜𝐭𝐡 came and seeing Ashtavakra sitting on his father's lap, he dragged him. He held him by the hand and dragged him down and said, I want to sit on my father's lap. You go and sit on your father's lap. Why are you occupying the place that is meant for me? Just like Dhruva. In Dhruva's story also this comes. So he pulled down Ashtavakra and he went and sat on his father's lap. Ashtavakra became very, very hurt. Till then he never knew who his father was. He considered Uddalaka himself as his father. So immediately he came back to his mother, to Sujata. He told her what all happened and he asked her, where is my father? I want to know where my father is. Where is he? Who is he? Because till now I considered my grandfather as my father. So who is my father? You must tell me. And where is he? You must tell me. And also when he was studying in the Gurukula, other children used to make fun of him, mock at him, laugh at him because he had physical deformities. In 8 places on his physical body, he was curved, Vakra was there. So everybody would make fun of him also. So that also had hurt him. So he asked his mother, you have to tell me who is my father and where is he? At that point of time, Sujata told him everything. How 𝐜𝐭 went to Janaka Maharaja's palace and there he was defeated by the scholar over there, Bandi, and he never ever came back again. He is supposed to have gone off to the Varuna Loka. Means he has gone off into the sea, drowned in the sea. Ashtavakra was very, very hurt. He was very angry also. How could another knowledgeable person do this to another knowledgeable person? Means he is very, very arrogant. He is full of pride of the knowledge that he has. So therefore he decided now to go to King Janaka's palace and defeat this Bandi. She tried to dissuade him, she tried to tell him not to go because she knows that Bandi is very, very powerful, very well versed. But little Ashtavakra was very, very confident. He's just around 12 years, 13 years. So he went and asked permission from his guru, his own grandfather Uddalaka, and he said, I want to go to King Janaka's palace and I want to go there and defeat Bandi. Uddalaka agreed. He knows the caliber of his own grandson. He says, you take 𝐜𝐭𝐡 also with you. So both of them, almost the same age, young boys, Ashtavakra and 𝐜𝐭𝐡, they left for the kingdom of Janaka. So as they were coming en route, they were almost near the city. Or in the city, all the details are not there. So when they came over there, they found that their path was being obstructed. They had almost reached the palace or the venue over there, where King Janaka was supposed to be performing a yajna. So the king also had left his palace, and he was also coming to the place of the yajna, the yajnashala. These children were also en route. So the security people, the soldiers over there, in order to let Janaka and his team move forward, they were blocking the path for the others. So they obstructed these 2 children and said, no, first priority is for the king to move ahead, afterwards you can go. At that point itself, Ashtavakra argued with the soldiers. He said, don't you know the rules and regulations? So it indirectly gives to us also a message, how it was in those days, because those days the only mode of transport was the road, whether it was well laid out or the dusty road or through a hill, whatever it is a path. Most of them walked the path. At the most it was bullock cart. That was the only mode of transport. So therefore, who should be given priority on a path is also very well written out over there. So Ashtavakra immediately argued, challenged the soldiers over there and said, don't you know the priority wise who should be walking ahead? So en route there will be so many types of people. So he said, first always preference should be given to blind people. It comes in the Mahabharata. He says along en route, so many people are there, blind person is also there, blind person must be given the priority. Why? Can't see. Others can manage, but a blind person can't manage. So therefore, priority wise, first the priority should be given to blind people. Then next is deaf people. Why? They can't hear. So deaf people. So again, physical deformities. Then the next priority should be given to women who are walking the path, because they'll be tired, they'll be exhausted. So don't hold them back for whatever reason. Give them the way first. We say ladies first. It is there in the Mahabharata. Of course, before that, those who have got physical disabilities, because they can't cope up when it comes to going in a group. So therefore, blind people first, then the deaf people, then women should be allowed to go at first. After that, anybody who is carrying lot of burden, supposing they have a burden, carrying a huge sack or a load of something on their head or on their shoulders or on their back, they can't wait. Therefore, priority should be given to them. And last of all, to the king, he said, because they were blocking the way for the king. And last of all, king. But he says, if a Brahmana comes this way, when we say Brahmana, this doesn't mean those who are born in the Brahmin class. It doesn't mean by birth. A Brahmana means noble person, virtuous person, well educated, well informed, cultured person, one who knows all the scriptures, the Shastras. Such a person should be first given priority. Even before the king, he says. So even before the king, if a Brahmana comes, or if a virtuous person, a Sant comes, a Mahatma comes, a Sadhu comes, is on the way, priority should be given first to him, is what Ashtavakra says over there. The king hears it, because he is also there en route. He hears what Ashtavakra says, and he steps aside and allows these two children to go ahead. He is already fascinated by Ashtavakra and his command of language, the way his vocabulary and all that. So these two children, Ashtavakra and 𝐜𝐭𝐡, first go. And then the king afterwards entered. Then all of them enter, the king enters the Yajna-shala. Yajna is going on. Scholars are there, Pandits are there, Rishis are there, sages are there. Bandi, of course, is also over there. And these two children also come over there, Ashtavakra and 𝐜𝐭𝐡. When they come over there, at the entrance of the Yajna-shala, again they are stopped by the gatekeepers. They say, no, we cannot allow you inside, sorry. They say, why? We have come to meet Janaka. Why are you blocking us? Why are you not allowing us to enter the Yajna-shala? So he says, the Dwarapalaka says over here, we are supposed to allow only those who are qualified, well versed in the scriptures, well read, mature people, old people. For them, more knowledge means more elderly people, direct proportionality. Because it takes years and years and years to master the knowledge, to master the scriptures. So one who is well read in scriptures automatically will be an old person or well advanced in age. These two are children. So they said children are not allowed inside. So only scholars were allowed inside. What business do you two children have over there? Again Ashtavakra gets into an argument with him. And he says, true growth doesn't mean only age. A person can be young, age-wise, but still, consider knowledge-wise, he can be senior. It is called as Jnana Vriddha. Vriddha means an elderly person. So you are talking about Vayovriddha, means a person old by age. He says no, Jnana Vriddha is also there. Jnana Vriddha means one who is old because of his knowledge. So Jnana Vriddha is also there. And he says, though I am young in age, I am just 12 or 13 or whatever, when it comes to knowledge, I am very old, he says. So you have to leave me. So he says, just because the hair on the head has turned white or grey, it doesn't mean a person possesses all the knowledge. So he argues over there. And finally, it reaches Janaka. And he sends word. There seems to be some argument and commotion going on at the gate, at the entrance of the Yagnashala. Allow those children to come inside. So therefore, again 𝐜𝐭𝐡 and Ashtavakra are allowed inside and they come over there. And then Ashtavakra is face to face with Janaka Maharaja over there. And Janaka Maharaja asks him, why have you come? What is your purpose? He says, I have come here, very clear he is. He says, I want to meet Bandi. Where is he? Why do you want to meet Bandi? I have come over here to destroy his arrogance and pride, he says. I have come over here to challenge him. Janaka Maharaja is shocked. He says, you hope to defeat Bandi? I don't think you can do that. You're small little children. Do you know what happens? Do you know the challenge? Whoever Bandi defeats, they will be sent to the realm of Varuna. Don't you know that? Many have come, challenged him, and they have lost. How can you both defeat him? I don't think it's wise to challenge him. Ashtavakra doesn't leave him yet. He says, no, I have come over here to challenge him and send him to where he sent the others. To his Varuna Loka, I will send him, he says. So I want to meet him. At that point of time, Janaka Maharaja asks Ashtavakra a few questions. Just to understand how knowledgeable he is. So Janaka Maharaja says over here, I want you to tell me, what is it that has got 30 divisions, 12 parts, 24 joints and 360 spokes? We won't go into the details, but this is the question. Ashtavakra very easily answers. He says that is time. Kala, the ever revolving Kala, is that which has got 24 joints. It's got 360 spokes. It's got 12 parts. Which are the two celestial factors or aspects which always are together. He says they are thunder and lightning. So like that he asks him a few questions and Ashtavakra immediately answers all of them. Very beautifully answers them. He doesn't even take time. The king then realizes that Ashtavakra is extremely knowledgeable. And he says, I think you can challenge Bandi. And he shows him where Bandi is standing. He says, there, yonder is Bandi. You can go and meet him. So Ashtavakra goes over there and challenges him. Bandi says, you are unnecessarily getting into trouble by provoking me. If you get defeated, you know what will happen to you. He says, no, I have come here to defeat you and send you where you have sent all the other scholars. So take up my challenge, is what Ashtavakra. We can imagine the scenario in the Yagnashala over there. All are elders, all the scholars, the pandits, the sages, the rishis, whoever had been invited, King Janaka over there, all are there. And here there are two children, youngster, 12 years, 13 years age. 𝐜𝐭𝐡 is silent. Only Ashtavakra is talking over there. So we find a small little boy challenging such a great scholar who had till now never been defeated at all. So therefore he says, Ashtavakra says, you answer all the questions that I am going to ask you. You answer them and I will answer all the questions that you are going to ask me. So both of them sit down over there, Ashtavakra on one side, Bandi on the other side, and it goes on. Whatever question Bandi asks, Ashtavakra is answering. Whatever question Ashtavakra, the child, is asking, Bandi is answering. It goes on and on and on and on. Everybody is wonderstruck. Bandi, they know. But this little boy is able to answer everything. Janaka Maharaja is also watching everything. Finally, it comes to a stage where the question and the answer are all in form of verses, complete verses. It comes in the Mahabharata. At one point of time, Bandi is supposed to answer. When he is answering, half a shloka comes out, means half the answer has come out. After that, he immediately becomes silent. Who? Bandi. He just becomes silent. He is speechless. Why? He doesn't know the next half. He doesn't know how to complete it. So half the answer has been given to the question that Ashtavakra has asked. The other half, he is fumbling over there for words. Nothing is coming out of him. He has become totally silent. Ashtavakra says, come on, speak. Why are you silent? Give me the complete answer. No answer is coming out of him. What does Ashtavakra do? He completes it. So half the answer was given out by Bandi. The remaining half, Ashtavakra completes it. So actually, who has won? Ashtavakra won over Bandi. Bandi is sitting over there, silent, head down. Why? He has lost. Everybody is stunned over there. Because till now, they had never seen anybody defeating Bandi over there. So all of them rise up and then they do Jayakara, and they, victory unto you, young boy, to Ashtavakra. And then Bandi comes and says to Ashtavakra, at that point of time he says, I am the son of Varuna, or Lord Varuna, the deity of the waters. I have sent all the scholars earlier who got defeated by me to Varuna Loka. They are not dead, they are over there. And because I got defeated now, he said, I will bring them all back. I realized my mistake, he says, because everybody thought all these scholars were dead and gone, including Ashtavakra's father. So he says, all of them, you will see them coming back now. They are all in Varuna Loka safe. So as a prayaschit, as an atonement for whatever I did wrong, so his pride is gone now, and he is, with all humility and humbleness, he accepts his defeat, and then he says, all of them whom I had sent to Varuna Loka, including your father 𝐜𝐭, you will see them all alive now. And therefore he brings them all back. His mission is complete. And he says, I will go back to my father's loka, to my father's abode, is what he says. So at the next moment, we see all the scholars who had been sent to Varuna Loka, all back over. They've all returned back as though nothing has happened to all of them. And amongst them, Ashtavakra sees his own father also, 𝐜𝐭, over there. We can imagine how happy the father must have been to see his son. And he actually had cursed him because he made a correction. Father, you are reciting wrong, there are mistakes. And because of that, he had cursed him and said, you will be born with 8 deformities in your physical body. And now today, when he was in trouble, when he was in Varuna Loka, it was the same child with all the 8 vakras who had brought him back and restored him back to his glory. So he is so happy with his son, and he said, I am extremely fortunate to have had a son like you, is what 𝐜𝐭 tells Ashtavakra. And then he says to Ashtavakra, there is the river flowing. Can you see the river flowing? The name of the river is Samanga. Just go and take a bath in the river and come back. You will regain back all your glory. Means all your vakra, the crookedness, the deformities will all go away. I bless you. So Ashtavakra goes and then quickly enters into the waters of the river Samanga, and he comes back. The moment he gets out of the water, all the crookedness in all his limbs have completely gone off. And he is just like any other normal child. but full of glow. Aura is there, tejas is there. What aura and tejas is there? The aura and the tejas of the scriptures, of the knowledge is there with him. So he is the one who actually freed his own father from captivity or from bondage. So this is a small little life sketch of Ashtavakra Rishi that comes in the Mahabharata. This same Ashtavakra later on, much later on, this is the story part. Later on, again Ashtavakra and King Janaka meet, and at that point of time, King Janaka asks Ashtavakra. Now he knows that Ashtavakra is very well versed in all the Upanishads, and then he can answer any question that he puts forth to Ashtavakra. Therefore, here starts our Ashtavakra Gita. So the background or the brief life sketch we have already gone through of Ashtavakra, sage Ashtavakra. So we know how learned he is, how knowledgeable he is, and in what lineage he is coming also. Guru Shishya Parampara is very, very important for all of us. So his father was great, 𝐜𝐭, and his grandfather Uddalaka is even more great. Ashtavakra surpasses all of them.